So instead of getting a movie review this week, you're going to get a book review. If you can read the title, which you probably can, it's about Alice Cooper. Awesome! So this is the book that I read, Alice Cooper Golf Monster. He has two biographies, this one and this one. This one's more about his life, this one's more about golf. So if you want to learn about him and golf, read this one. Or if you just want to read about his life, read this one. But this one's chunky, so you're going to be spending more than a week on it. I spent a week reading this, read half of it in a day, and then another time. I got a lot. So this book is actually really interesting. I learned a lot of things I didn't know about him. Like, I knew he was religious, and I knew he played golf. But he turned to religion for a particular reason, and he turned to golf for a particular reason, and I didn't know either of that. He became a Christian, one, to save his marriage, two, because he grew up being religious when he was a kid, and three, because it helped him become a better man. He was like a better father. He stopped singing about songs that objectify women. He stopped drinking. He was like a real family man, and people love him now. And the reason he became a golf player is so he could give up the addiction of alcohol, because apparently he was drinking like enough alcohol to function, and he was still a functioning alcoholic, and he wasn't crazy. Like, you know, when you go to a pub and you see alcoholics and they're just like, la, 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 I'm an alcoholic, I drink. Well, he was like, you know what, I could still write songs. I wrote like 6 albums and this and that. I'll talk about those further down. And he was still functioning. He could write, he could do everything. And he went to rehab twice. Obviously, I didn't know that he went to rehab. I just thought, you know, you play golf, you're a Christian, whatever. I don't care. So he went to rehab twice. First time, he had an intervention with Shaq Gordon, his manager, and his wife Cheryl, and they were like, dude, get into rehab. And somehow he managed to sign his name, and he was in rehab for however long. And then the second time he went into rehab, he was like, it was on breaking point when it came to his marriage. It was like, okay, his wife was about to file for divorce, and that's when he was like, no, come on, I want to be with you. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I be with you, I give up alcohol. And he went into rehab and he stayed there. And this album, from the Inside album, comes from rehab. So it's kind of sort of about people he met. In whatever chapter, I'm not going to find it. Oh, chapter 8. No, it's not. Chapter 19 or something like that. He talks about how he came up with the album. It's sort of based on the people that he met in there. Like this one girl, she breaks everything. She was literally a mental person, and she would be like breaking TVs and radios, and Alice hated it. He's like, what, you break that TV, I break you. This is the only thing that's keeping me sane. If you destroy that, I will kill you. And that's what he says in his book. And I was like, whoa, he's like full on. Nice to know that TV keeps you sane, man. And how he comes up with this album is he was playing a game with Bernie, table tennis or something like that. And so Bernie is one of Alice's friends. There's probably a longer story there. I didn't really pay attention. So they would throw sentences back to each other, and Bernie would be like, dear darling, surprised to hear from me. Bet you're sitting drinking coffee, yawning sleepily. And Alice would go back, just to let you know, I'm going to be home soon, kind of tired and afraid the time has changed your point of view. How are you going to see me now? Please don't see me ugly, babe. Please, I let you down in so many ways. You know, and so they did that as they were playing the game. They threw sentences back at each other, and that's how Alice Cooper came up with this album. And I was like, that's really clever, dude. Really clever. And, yeah, he was, yeah. And he went into rehab the second time when his daughter Calico visits, Calico Cooper. She's really pretty. She's in a couple of concert DVDs. She was only 2 when he went into rehab, and he was like, okay, he was pretty, well, according to this book, he was, pretty sane compared to the other patients. There was a patient who was hiding from the CIA, and was like, every time a doctor came over, he would be like, I'm crazy. And every time the doctor walked over, he'd be like, I'm only joking, ma'am. I'm perfectly fine. I'm like, okay. Awkward. So that's where a lot of songs come from. And The Quiet Room talks about he talks about in this book as well as on the album. And so this book, well, a chapter in this book coincides with that album, which I think is really clever. And if you're a golfer, you'll love this more because this will be like half the book's about his life and the other half is about is about golf. And I mean, I never play golf. I find watching golf completely boring. I never watch it, never played it, whatever, nothing to do with golf. I don't care. But reading this book, I'm just like, you know what? I know what this term means now. I know what this means. And I'm just like, wow. So when I can go up to a golfer, I know what insult to throw at them because they will hate it. Because apparently saying Alice isn't just a girl's name, or his name either. Sorry, Mr. Cooper. But it's also a term used on the golf course, and I can't find it. I probably should have bookmarked it, shouldn't I? Sorry. But yeah, it's like an sort of an insult, I guess. I don't know, I can't find it. And I was like, whoa, that's really clever. So he did an ad with Eli Callaway, who's like a golf person who sells golf stuff. I know, you know more about him than I do. And so they signed up and they made TV ads together, and he was like, something about the term Alice. He's like, my name's Alice and I'm doing an Alice. And he's like, okay. But if you're a golfer, you'll understand that term better than I do. And also, in the time that he was drunk, because he went back on it, he was sober for several months, and then he went back onto the bandwagon, drank, and then went back to rehab. And so in the 1980s, he was drunk for so long. He made 4 albums. I only have one of those 4 albums, and he put out Flush the Fashion in 1980, Special Forces in 1981, Zipper Catch a Skin in 1982, and Dada in 1983. Now, I only have Zipper Catch a Skin, and he writes in here, those were my lost years, and I would, there's a few songs on those albums that I would love to redo. I was like, why touch Zipper Catch a Skin? Zipper Catch a Skin is a good album. I like it. Make That Money's a really good song. I Like Girls, Tag You're It, I'm Alive, No Baloney Homo Sapiens. Those are my favourite songs on Zipper Catch a Skin. So, you know, Alice Cooper, if you ever redo those 4 albums, do not touch Zipper Catch a Skin, because I like that album. So just leave it the way it is, please. And I was pretty interested, and I liked reading his biography, and I recommend that everybody should, because there's so much more detail, and it's just really interesting. And if you're an Alice Cooper fan, you will actually find out more about him than the media says. Now, in the media, they just say, oh, Alice Cooper's a golf addict, or Alice Cooper drank, or Alice Cooper's a Christian, or Alice Cooper stabbed a chicken. It's like, actually half of those are lies. Yes, he's a Christian, but it's because of reasons. Yes, he plays golf, but it's because of reasons. He didn't technically kill a chicken on stage. He was young and didn't realize that chickens don't fly. They do, sort of. I don't know, the ones I've seen, they fly like so high off the ground, but they don't really fly like a normal bird. So I guess, yeah, I would do the same thing too. So I recommend you read his book. It's quite interesting, and it's well worth the read. You'll love it, especially if you're an Alice Cooper fan. If you're not an Alice Cooper fan, that's okay. It's just an interesting read anyway. And if you're a golf player, he talks about golf in here as well. Like I said, half book biography, half book golf. You'll love it. Because it kind of puts it in perspective, saying, you know what, I may not do a 9-to-5 job like every other normal person out there, but I get the chance to play golf. And he talks about, it doesn't matter if you're a person who lives in middle class or lower class. If you want to play golf, go play golf, and you can play golf with the pros. Because he's like, oh yeah, I've worked with some people who just walked in, like, you know, he wouldn't say lower class or whatever. He'd be like, you know, I've worked with a guy who was down on his luck, but somehow he managed to scrape enough money to work with a celebrity. And apparently in golf, you can play golf with celebrities if you're not a celebrity, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, it's really interesting read. So read it, enjoy it, and whatnot. And I'm gonna go read his other biography, and maybe if you're lucky, I'll do a book review on that. And I will see you in another video. So read this man's book. You'll enjoy it. Okay, see ya!